because intro would be like hey, welcome to the Kahuna Strength Podcast. We just started rambling, and then we're going to get to the real podcast.
Hey guys, welcome to the Kahuna Strength Podcast, where we help men and women build real sustainable strength for their real life. No trends, no shortcuts, just what actually works and works for us, and hopefully works for you too. We're busy adults, parents, professionals, college kids, and we're all just trying to stay strong and healthy and consistent. If you want strength you can live with, you're in the right place.
Let me see, it's like how the peptides work, but they're becoming like more popular with people like trying to get back in shape or whatever. I seen one that a lot of guys are using for cutting, I guess, or something.
Yeah, it was just the terminology that I had forgotten. Because I've got a buddy that tore his rotator cuff, and it's 100% tear. So I mean, he needs surgery.
Damn.
But I was like, if it weren't 100%, then I would go with this experimental enzyme. The way it was described to me, 6 or 7 years ago, BPC 157 was an experimental enzyme.
Wait, is that the one you used on your arm?
Yeah, for my biceps tear. And that was 100% tear, but I used it after the surgery, which helped with, I feel that it helped with my recovery.
Yeah.
Immeasurably. I used it, but I was trying to send the new terminology to my friend.
Yeah.
And though it's not, it's experimental. Peptides, enzymes, things like that. They're experimental. They're not FDA approved or anything like that. But my personal experience, my dad had a total knee replacement and part of his femur rebuilt. And so I used the injection on my biceps, and it worked, really fast. I have done it since then. I've not used the injection, but I've used the pills since then for other injuries.
Yeah.
But my dad used the pills, and they said they'd never seen anyone recover so quickly, let alone a 75-year-old man from a total knee replacement.
Wow.
And he's like, oh, well, yeah, my son told me I should use this, and I used it, and maybe that's why. I don't know. But, yeah, he walks around fine now, yeah. But anyway,
that's good, yeah.
Question. Peptides.
Yeah, no, that's interesting. I keep seeing them pop up, and I'm like, but I haven't done enough research on it to go down that rabbit hole or whatever. So, but yeah, Sarah was just mentioning she's considering GP. Is it GPL or GLP-1? Whatever. Just cause her BMI, and on top of it, she could jumpstart. I mean, she's already working out and losing weight, but she just want a little jump start, maybe. But she talked to her doctor today about all that. So
and the GLPs, like I get it. I understand wanting to use those. I am from what I've looked up and from a layman's stand. I mean, they're great in some instances.
Yeah.
They're not so great in others. You really have to make sure that what food you're able to eat is, you want to prioritize protein. Because
that's exactly what her doctor said. First thing she said, she goes, you need to prioritize protein intake if you're considering it. She's like, because you don't want any muscle loss or anything like that. So, but
right, because a lot of people will take it, and they aren't hungry, they don't eat, and it becomes kind of like a wasting disease where it's afflicted.
I have several friends. I don't want to mention it on here. Like I know several who are on it. Who are like, right now I can name at least 5. And one of them I knew, she took it early on, and because right away I was like, she dropped like a lot of weight, obviously. But she's also one of those. She's like a a high functioning professional. So if she's doing something, she's doing it the right way and the best way.
Yeah.
So for her, she never had that like sickly look or anything like that. She was very dialed in, and to this day, still very dialed in. Like she looks the healthiest, and I've known her for over a decade. Like she looks the healthiest.
On it?
Huh?
Is she still on it?
Yeah, yeah. And she looks the healthiest I've ever seen her. Like skin condition, everything. She looks, but again, she's also one who, if she's going to do something like that, she's going to like follow everything by the book. Now I'm sure she's reduced her dose or whatever, but then I know someone else who got on it, and that individual didn't work out, didn't anything. Also, they're very busy individual, like super busy, like busy as we are busy. And unfortunately, that individual, when I saw him, I was like, I knew they had lost weight. I was like, oh, pretty good, but like had that like kind of sunken eye look, like just kind of like didn't feel super great. So they weren't combining it with like exercise and just like eating and taking care of yourself. But then it's so funny, their friend who's like was within distance of them was on it too and looked like super healthy and like had lost weight, not a bunch, but had lost weight, but looked. So I think it's how you like probably with anything, how you kind of like do it
Any
within
supplement.
reason.
Yeah, any supplement, I think that, because everyone wants a magic pill.
Yeah,
Everyone wants that magic pill. They want either they want to
all
lose
know
weight,
testosterone,
or they want to just pack on muscle.
Yeah.
Back when I was an undergrad, Rip Fuel, you could buy caps of ephedra from GNC.
Oh yeah.
And
He's
I
like,
had,
what? You used to be able to buy meth legally, basically.
yeah.
So
the building
I had
blocks
guys in
of-
college buying like, I told her the supplements we used to take in college, like for working out and stuff, like now are clearly all like, they're like, you can't ever buy that unless you go to Mexico.
Yeah, it's pretty much it's speed. Well, like I think that in Canada,
guys
you
were
still
sleeping and
buy-
sweating, and I was like,
Right.
that doesn't seem normal. Like,
Well, yeah, but I would use use Rip Fuel sometimes. I would I added ephedra to a lot of my pre-workout stuff, and it's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go in there. I'm gonna go tear this workout up.
we'll bench the whole gym at this point. I'm gonna run circles here.
Right. Yeah.
And
but I had
work out
I had
everything.
this whole program. I had everything programmed out. My whole thing was working out all the time, and I had a buddy who I used to work out with. We would probably the only people that were really dedicated, lifting heavy, and trying to see big gains. And summer break came around, and he's like, "Hey, I'm going to get on some D-ball, decabuterol, or I think that's what it is.
Yeah, down
I'm going to get some D-ball." And I was like, "Why?" I was like, "We're doing great right now. Why are you doing that?" He's like, "Oh no,
greater."
Yeah, he's like, "Well, it's my senior year. I want to be killing it on the football field." And I was like, man, I just wouldn't do it. I don't.
The whole what was it? All the draws. There was like Anadrol, Dynabol, Winstraw, like just the draw.
I only knew guys that used them. I never got into it. I always, it wasn't my thing.
Yeah.
For other people, that was their thing. And he was like, yeah, this is my senior year. I really want to go in and kill this year in football. I wasn't playing. And, so I was like, I'm just going to stick with working out and using the free drugs that we can buy. And
you're like,
we're not
no
free.
one's prescribing that. That's illegal. You're like, meanwhile, Rip Fuel for life.
Right, yeah. The legal stuff that
I
we
can
could
buy this at the gas
time.
station. This is legal, right? Like, sure, buddy, yeah.
Right. So
My buddy used to have he bought those jars of supplements, and it was at GNC, man. And it was, what was it? It had like the list on it was just insane. And I remember going in to work out with
hey,
Charlie.
man, you want a heart attack?
Yeah, and I remember going in to work out with Charlie. I know obviously we had creatine then, but it was there's something else that started with a C. There's a whole bunch of stuff, and I just remember going in. Yeah, we went in to work out with Charlie back when I was younger. I mean, I was like, I had to be like 20 something, and just oh my bro, nice, and was just like in the gym, and I was like, man, it's like I was just my heart, I could feel it, and I was like looking like, is it out of my chest or is it still in my chest? And I was like, I feel great, but also like not safe. And then now you look at like all those things, you're like, this was legal, like nobody regulated this shit. It's like, whew.
And my buddy, he came back after summer break, and he was an offensive lineman. He had lost. Well, first of all, I was like, well, how are you going to use this? Because I know other guys that have used it, and you kind of have to have a pyramid stack. You build up, you decrease. He's like, I'm going to take it like Rip Fuel. I'm just going to take 2 pills a day, or do 2 doses a day or whatever. And I said, I really don't think that you should do that. And he's like, well, I mean, that's all I know. I'm just going to do it. He came back and looked like a sprinter. He had lost everything. He was really bummed at the end of it, and he was like, that complete and total waste of time. I should have listened.
Well, back then, man, you didn't have like doctors the way you have doctors now who are like, hey, back then it was so they didn't want you to do anything, so you go to your doctor and like, hey man, they're like, oh, like, okay, they were like, you just do it this way. I'm like, just go exercise. I'm like, man, like I want to, but then so you just went out and had to find it out on your own. Whereas now you can go to a doctor and say, hey man, I'm 47. I just want to get checked and see am I like cool, and they're like, oh, let's take your testosterone. I'm like, it's low. It could be a little higher, so we can give you this, take 4, and not to mention we do blood tests, we check you out, we make sure everything's good to go. Back then, you wouldn't, so you had to find out your own. Who knows what you're doing to your health, back then. But also at 20, you probably don't need to be popping out wind straws. You've already jacked like a bull.
Yeah, and that's kind of the thing with the peptides and all the experimental stuff now. Mm-hmm. You've got the guys out there talking about tren and all that, and TRT is available to pretty much anyone that has an internet connection, and
just go to a doctor. Like you go to an online doctor and they're like, run your blood test, man. Like
the online doctors and stuff. Yeah, and I mean, I'm sure that there are ways around it. I get my TRT through my insurance, through my
that's right. You go through insurance, right?
Here, and it cost me a fraction of what people are paying for all this. But but once you start TRT, I mean, that's it.
Yeah.
Your body, we peak in our 20s, and then then there's a plateau and a decrease. Mm-hmm. And, your body's going to keep decreasing. We can supplement that. We can inject testosterone, and that will bring us back up, which, I mean, is healthy. And I think it's great for anyone who's, got low energy, no stamina, just doesn't have, they're not living as full as they'd like to. Testosterone is great for men and for women. Mm-hmm. Different doses, of course, but when you start introducing testosterone, exogenous testosterone at a younger age, because I didn't start until I was 39 or 40, and it gave me more energy, and my recovery time was better, and the main thing was just the energy, getting up, being able to get my workout in, and then the rest of the day for my family to be able to continue and have the energy to do that. But if you start introducing testosterone in your 20s, I mean, your body is going to adapt to that. It's going to be like, you've got, we've got excess testosterone here.
We don't need to produce it anymore.
Need to produce it as much. So, I mean, your body's like, all right, cool. Yeah, we'll keep on keeping on. Yeah. But then when you get older, as you age, you're still going to find that plateau. You're still going to find a downslide, and if you can postpone using things until they're necessary, or you feel they're necessary,
Yeah.
then, in my opinion, I mean, I'm not a medical doctor or anything like that. It's just from my experiences, you put that off. I mean, if you've got creatine and enough protein, and from a male standpoint, then ride that horse as long as you can. And if you plateau in your 30s and you're like, oh man, I don't know what to do, go talk to your doctor, a urologist, someone, and be like, hey, this is my goal. I want this, I want that. They'll help you, and then you're not buying. Then you know exactly what you're getting. A lot of times, insurance will cover it.
Yeah,
and it's a healthier option as opposed to, just going and following whatever trends on.
Oh yeah.
What was that? Sorry.
I'll get that out of my teeth. Jesus Christ. So I ate dinner. I got this chicken in my. By the way, we ate like all the food Sarah made, which is Sarah made a great dish, by the way.
Yeah.
It was like chicken and broccoli and cheese and apparently egg noodles.
Oh yeah.
We just saw the dish out, and she. So I went to say goodnight to the kids. Blah blah. They wanted mommy to read a book, so she read the book. So I came out. She was doing editing photos and stuff, and I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna eat some of this. It's out." It's like cool. So I like scoop it. It's just chicken and broccoli and cheese, baked goodness on a plate. And I was like, "This is delicious." I'm just like eating it. She's eating it. And then we're like, "Did Sarah get a plate of food?" Because we're gonna eat all of it. And we look
one plate.
Well, I'm gonna eat all of it. In the microwave, there was a plate. Now I didn't look at the plate because I'm not one of those, specialty people who's like, "Let me open it, take a look." Jesus, you got time for that. So.
Right.
I was like, she's got a plate of food. She's good. Eat the food. I go to rinse off my plate and look down in the sink. There's the strainer, colander, whatever the fuck, with egg noodles in it. And I was like, oh shit. Was I supposed to eat egg noodles with this? I was like, so I sat it out, as you should for a guy, because if you hide it, basically put it in the sink, put it in the cabinet, it's just disappeared. It needs to be sitting out on the counter, face in front of me. With
Even
probably
if it's there at halftime, you still don't see it.
Probably with a sticky note or a blinking light.
Right.
And so I sat it out. So she came out. She was mad. I was like, hey, she's like, and I was like, are you upset? She's like, no. I was like, are you upset that we didn't eat your egg noodles? She's like, I mean, I made all the egg. I was like, I'm sure it was delicious the way it was. I was like, I'm sorry. It was but
I would just ate the noodles.
Yeah, it's like,
He just picked up a handful of the noodles and just shoved it.
Anytime Amy makes lasagna or anything, she always saves like 2 of the lasagna strips for me.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's nice. Yeah. I did pick up the egg noodles out of the strainer and was just like, I'll just eat them, I guess. But anyway, thanks for pointing that out. Oh yeah. So like, we're talking about TRT for a minute, but she's seen me on testosterone and on enclophamine. So, because first I went with enclophamine, and I actually felt good. It took a little longer for testosterone to naturally produce at higher levels, but not that long, probably 4 weeks, maybe 6 weeks, peaking and leveling off at maybe like 8 weeks, steady state. But then I was like, I want a little more. So, and I think testosterone works for some people. Like you obviously are primo. Like you're going, if you're taking testosterone, you're hydrating like you're supposed to be hydrating. Mm-hmm. You're getting sleep like you're supposed to be getting sleep. Whereas I wasn't. And apparently though, like my testosterone level got stupid because when they retested me, they were like, your half-life on testosterone was something silly, like 800 or 900 or like, and they were like, so if you're on it, you're bumping probably 1600. They were like, you shouldn't be. And I was like, oh, so that's good, right? And they were like, maybe not. But also I wasn't hydrating the way I should have been, right, and trying to run too many businesses at one time. So, but now, like my workout today was much better. but that's because the last 2 nights I went to bed at a decent time. Yeah, and I've slept like normal.
Dude, you've got to prioritize sleep. Sleep is so underrated. It's almost as well. It's as important as hydrating. And whenever you talk about testosterone and things like that, people are always like, "Well, what about estrogen blockers? And what about this? What about that?"
Well, they have me on estrogen blocker.
Right.
Something for like an aromatase, I guess, inhibitor or whatever.
Aromatase inhibitor.
But they also have me on enclophamine still twice a week. Just some of my testes wasn't like completely whatever. But when I switched back to enclophamine, I didn't have a huge dip. I had about a week and a half, almost 2 weeks, where I was just a little like not as energized. But then now like I'm pretty good. And more workouts, but also I am sleeping better and definitely trying to hydrate more. So.
Yeah, and like I was the first time I was prescribed testosterone, it was a once a week, and I mean this is not. Don't take this as medical advice or anything. No. Anyone hearing this, but they prescribed me testosterone once a week. I was injecting it intramuscularly, and I was given a aromatase inhibitor at the same time because I was injecting a week's worth of testosterone.
Dude, they're doing that to McClanahan, but he doesn't take an estrogen blocker or anything, which I'm like...
Well, maybe, it may have just been my provider that was doing it, but so you don't produce testosterone once a week as a male or female, regardless. I mean, you just don't. You produce every day.
Every day. Okay.
Right. You just produce it all the time. So when I got my new doctor, I was like, hey, why am I doing this once a week? Why wouldn't I do it, take that week's dose, split it up into 7 days? And he's like, that's exactly.
I think that is better because you never have a dip.
Yeah, there's no dip, and there's no super high either.
Exactly.
Because when I was injecting, I do it Saturday morning, Saturday night, Sunday night, Monday night, I was, ready to go.
Yeah, I did notice it when I did it. I was on twice a week, and I would like the next day-ish roughly, and then the day after I would be like ready to roll. But then there would be that like lug until you took it again, basically. So I didn't like that at all. But yeah.
And I'm not sure what you're prescribed. I'm prescribed a certain amount where it's easy for me to break up into 7 days. Again, I've been on it a little bit longer than you, so my body isn't naturally producing probably as much as you or as you were. But I've got friends who are a little bit younger than me. They're just starting on it, and they're prescribed less than half of what I'm using, and that's not something that they can do every day. You can't split up, a minuscule amount into even smaller amounts. So what they're doing is every other day or every 3 days, and their blood work's coming back positive. They're seeing improvements in their health and in their life just by doing that. And they're whereas if they were injecting that their week's dose at one time, I would guess that they would not be seeing the same results. Now the thing is, like, my most recent blood test, I took 3 weeks off to get my blood test done, and because I've been on it for so long, I wanted to have that long 3 weeks off to make sure that it was completely out of
your system.
And man, they came. My results came in, and I'm producing, I think, between my very first blood work and this most recent blood work, I'm at half of what I was producing. Now, again, age does play a factor in that, but I probably wouldn't be producing so low if I hadn't, been on it for so long.
Well, yeah.
But because I am kind of, committed to this kind of lifestyle where, I want to work out, I want to have, this kind of life. Yeah. I know that testosterone is going to be something that I'm going to be using for a, indefinite.
I think it'd be inevitable. I think it would be chronic. Like that's what they told Sarah with the, is it GLP? I'm confused.
It's GLP.
GLP. There we go. Yeah. The lady was like, hey, it's chronic. Like it's something that you would take forever. She's like, now you could lower your dose over time, obviously, if you wanted to. She's like, unless you get, it's basically chronic unless you get a habit, as far as that goes with weight loss medication, where you're able to say, like, this is meal portion, what I should be eating. But unless you get your normal way you should be eating dialed in at that point. But I told her, I was like, yeah, same thing as like testosterone. Testosterone would be chronic. It'd be something that you would be on until you're not here anymore. So.
Yeah, but testosterone is a hormone that we're introducing exogenous. Like we're putting that in us. Whereas like a GLP, I wouldn't call that a constant thing. That I would say, and again, I'm not a doctor. I don't know for certain. Yeah. However, if you're using it to lose weight, then you've got a goal weight in mind.
Yeah.
Once you hit that goal weight, I would be interested to talk with the doctor and to understand why you would then continue using that.
Well, I think it's not so much. The only reason you're losing weight, it sounds like, from those things is because it's a appetite suppressant. Is the only reason. And what else does it do? The people I get Inclo from offer it, but they offer it in two forms. They offer it regular dosing, but they also offer it in micro dosing. But lower dose, whatever. But my understanding with that is it's just because it's like an appetite suppressant. I would probably, and again, I don't know. I could probably look it up now, but it's akin to like if you had a gastric bypass. Well, what if you undid it? Well, guess what? Now you can. Oh, and hold on. It's does it slow? I can't remember how they say it. Let me look it up real quick. It's like it slows digestion.
Right, but if you're slowing, it does slow digestion and it does suppress the appetite. But if you're doing that, then I mean, think about all the after effects of slowing digestion and how that's going to affect you. Whereas if you used it for a set amount of time and adjusted your diet, your daily caloric intake, then
it looks like it's a little bit more involved than that. It apparently so it's a natural gut hormone that helps regulate blood sugar, appetite, and digestion. So it releases it into the bloodstream, and it tells your pancreas to release insulin only if blood sugar is elevated, which lowers your blood sugar without causing dangerous lows. Then it reduces glucagon. People gonna read this podcast like this dude don't know how to read. I don't know how to read good. But here we go. It slows stomach emptying, make you feel fuller longer, and blood sugar rises more gradually. And then, of course, it acts on the appetite centers of the brain, reducing hunger and cravings, which, of course, all this leads to lower appetite, fewer calories eaten, better blood sugar control. I do know that and there's another medicine that was used for people with diabetes. So
Right. But
yeah,
I mean, the long and short of it is if you're using something to suppress your appetite, you should then be adjusting your meal plan to fit
yeah,
that. Make sure you're getting the macronutrients that you need. Um, and then once you get to a certain point, you should have the self-control at that point.
well, I think that's what the overall goal is for
Right. So
most
you
people
wouldn't
is to
need
get to
it
that point. So,
afterward. Right.
yeah,
You wouldn't need to
create a
stay on the
diet.
medication if you're able to, portion control and get everything that you need. Then I mean, and I'll talk with my mom. I'll talk with
Yeah.
the
Since,
physicians.
but it does seem like since it's a natural gut, was it a gut hormone? A natural gut hormone that then maybe. Oh yeah, it's a peptide, by the way. Yeah. Then it could be something that
Well,
maybe your
peptides and
gut.
hormones are different, I think. So,
What is
like,
it?
if you're introducing a peptide to your body, I
Yeah.
don't think it's going to affect your natural peptide production. I think that when you introduce hormones to your body, like testosterone, estrogen, things like that,
Yeah.
that does, I mean, that's an adrenal, if I remember correctly, then that's a different animal.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would think that, and again, I mean, we can revisit this at another time, but
Do we
I
need to have
think
your mom on? That'd be fun.
that's what we need.
I would love to have your mom on.
Yeah. Well, she would do it. She would
Yeah.
talk about all this.
Yeah.
Because I talked to her about what I'm doing, and I run everything by her.
Then, guys, we would have a doctor on. That'd be cool.
Yeah. Then you'd
be
have a
awesome.
legitimate doctor on. But I think that, like, you use something like a GLP or any appetite suppressant, any like even when Rip Fuel was a thing,
Yeah.
that wasn't a long term. Even when Rip Fuel was around, they were like, yeah, use this for a month, take a month off,
Yeah.
because it's all about controlling your appetite and understanding portion control and getting your macros. Get what you need.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's kind of like the way that I eat now. I'm like, yeah, I've got all this food prepared and everything.
Mm-hmm.
It's I'm not hungry.
Each one, I promise.
Yeah, I'm not hungry, but I need this. I need the protein, I need the carbs, I need the fat. I've
Yeah.
got to eat this. So it's like the inverse of eating too much, not eating enough. If you're working out at at a certain level,
Yeah.
you have to make sure that your portion control is adequate for that. Otherwise, I mean, you can have injuries. You're not going to see the gains that you want. You're not going to
I'm still listening. Yeah.
get the benefits from everything that you're doing. So yeah, I don't know. I'll talk with Mom and we'll get a legitimate doctor on here and
That'd be cool.
see what she thinks.
Real quick too, because hey, Destiny, you're part of the podcast, and we appreciate you being here. If you
We're
like,
just duding out over
Well,
let y'all
right,
know.
yeah, and so Destiny probably, where she goes to an actual gym
yeah,
with people who are, half our age.
yeah,
Do you see, like, does anyone ever talk about using anything?
do you talk to people at the gym?
No. I've seen a couple. I know I've
definitely
seen
are, yeah.
one dude that was like, he is jacked. Like I know that we've seen him. there
Cowboy
before.
boot guy,
What?
cowboy boot guy, the one who's always wearing cap. There's a dude, by the way. Good news is they'll never listen to this podcast, so I can make fun.
They might.
They're actually, I'm sure they're really nice people. They're always smiling. They're super cool. So they're just in their zone. They come in, they come in, do their workout, probably as fast as us, if not faster. But yeah, he's the dude who, you probably don't realize he's jacked because he's usually wearing like an oversized T-shirt or a hoodie. But the fucker's always wearing cowboy boots. Remember, I even joked.
That's not what I'm talking about, though.
Yeah,
there's this one guy, and he's like super jacked. He's always wearing wife beaters, so you could see it.
That guy, though, the one I'm talking about, is legitimately like he's training. Like he's there's this one dude, and he's got a girl that comes in with him. So and she's
they're really short. Like us?
Yeah.
Yep, I know who you're talking about.
They're really short, like
they
us.
They are
normal size. By the way,
really short like us.
Yeah.
So Destinie has seen some dudes in there.
Yeah.
Do you think they're on gear? What do you like? What age would you say they are? And
cowboy boot guys probably
30s and 40s.
You think so? I think he might be late 20s. He might be early 30s.
I think he's just got good skin. Like I think they both have like.
Well, also like haven't been up. I mean, I've walked past them before. So yeah, they might be 30s. Yeah.
Well, I know the other dude. I think that the other dude, the really jacked one,
who is that?
I remember. It was like right when you first started coming.
Not
with
police
me.
officer guy, right?
No,
he's not.
He's the one that like bleached his hair.
Yeah.
And now he looks kind of funny.
Now, he looks great, by the way. You look great, and you serve and protect. Thank you. No speed dates.
But
we ain't seen him in there in a hot minute, but of course we haven't been there too. But yeah.
So are there guys in there or girls that are clearly like using, or from your perspective?
I can tell you right now, there's definitely guys in there around my age who are, because there's like just at normal, because I don't look like I've ever taken anything, but I look like I just work out some, and I like pizza. But there's other guys who I've seen around who either have been working out consistently all their life. It's more common now that the guys you see in there, like around my age, are taking something.
Right. Yeah, but you had asked Destinie about her input, and I just wanted to know if she had seen. Yeah. It's like, because you know, well, you don't know unless you talk to someone, they're honest with you.
Yeah.
What they're doing in my late teens, early 20s, I was using a lot of supplements, a lot of creatine, a lot of, Rip Fuel, all those things, protein. And I was living in the gym, but there were, there were guys that were doing more, and you're like, oh, wow, I'm not getting those results. I wonder, and you talk to them, they're like, oh, yeah, I'm on these cycles, they're on gear, things like that. Are you able to make that distinction, or have you noticed, like,
I mean,
anything?
I think that the one dude that I saw like a bunch whenever I first started taking you, but it was also when I was going on my own. Yeah. He was always in a wife beater, and he was like fucking jacked. Like he looked fucking ripped.
Oh,
and
I did see that guy one time.
Yeah, and I was just like,
yeah.
Yeah, he kind of looks juiced. The other two, the ones in the cowboy boots, they just look like they're training for like a bodybuilder competition, and like literally, because the girl looks the same.
Oh yeah.
Like she looks ripped. Like she looks nice. They both look nice, but like I don't see that kind of like it teeters. Because, like, they might or they might not. Cause, like,
no, those two definitely are. Yeah. If that dude took his shirt off, you could just tell from, I mean, really.
God.
You tell me you walk by, like, his traps, like, which is, so if you're taking testosterone, a lot of times it's, your androgen receptors are, like, traps, shoulders, area. But his, like, back here, like, I walked by one time, I saw the back of his neck. I was like, I can see that through your baggy-ass shirt. If this guy took his shirt off, he's probably ripped to shit. You can just tell because I've seen enough of those.
Well, you would know because you did it in college.
I did do run one cycle of Sustanon 250 when I was in college. It was a 6-week cycle. They were Ready Jets from Mexico, intramuscular. I'll never forget. I was injecting my leg, which you don't want to be doing leg day when you do that shit. And one of the guys there, was it Curly? Might have showed me where to go, because it's like you measure like above your knee to where you want to go in that spot.
I love that you're doing that, like they can see that.
Yeah, sorry, I can't see. But I can't remember if it was like week 3 maybe. And I'm like, first of all, I didn't know anything back then at all. It came in Ready Jets. It was Sustanon 250. It was 6-week cycle. And again, shouldn't have been taking it because I was fucking like 21 years old. So I had plenty of testosterone. And kind of what they sold me on it is I hope nobody's going to listen to this, is one of the guys like, bro, you about to get a lot of ladies because your pheromones and hormones are going to be off the chart. And that's all my brain heard. I was like, yeah. Yeah.
Typical,
typical college male, and all we did was I was back in my drinking days, so all we did was drink and work out. That's about the extent of it. Little schoolwork, didn't do great in college, as you can tell. But I think it was like, so I was like, I don't know, I got them. This is great. Oh my God. But it doesn't have needles. And they were like, just go down to the local pharmacy and get needles. And I was like, that seems illegal. And they were like, what? I was like, okay. So I like walked in and I can't remember what that pharmacy was, like up in Greensboro somewhere. And was like asked, and they were like, oh yeah, what size gauge do you need? And I was like, I don't sure. She's like, well, these, and she's like showed me, they're like small little needles, like diabetic needles. And I guess that I can't remember how the numbers work, but I was like, I got either an 18 or a 22, which by the way is like ballpoint pen size. Like it looks like literally, if you, it looks like a toothpick size. Like it's big, and I was like, yeah, I was so nervous. Like this is what I need. Sure, get them back, and one of the guys was like, dude, what do you got? And I was like, because the lady asked, like, are you taking something like intramuscular or sub whatever? And I was like, I'm not sure. She's like, she didn't want to say like, I know what you're doing, but she was like, okay, well, and she just let me buy whatever. And I bought literally, seriously, man, they were like, when you see it, it's like something you draw.
This is a good one for anyone younger to listen to.
Yeah, not to do.
Don't do this. This is
go to a doctor.
Like there are pros at that age, kids that have been working out for a long time. Like, I want to be an IFBB pro. I want to, not that you have to use steroids or anything like that to be a pro, but if you're going in that direction, whatever it is, go talk to a doctor.
Yes.
Get it?
Well, again, we're talking literally 26 years ago. So it was the wild, wild west back then, man. Like, again, when I said the Draw Brothers, like back then, you would look to someone and be like, oh, what? They're on gear. What are they taking? He's like, he's comboing like Winstrol and Dynaball. Dylan over here is taking Anadrol, and I just remember being like, "It's a lot of draws, guy." They were like, "Oh, funny, you don't." And I was like, "I don't know what the fuck y'all taking, man? Like, is this horse steroids?" Which apparently some of them might have been. But so when I got that one, and I go to take this thing, like, first of all, they didn't find out the needle size until I think it was like the third week. I go to stick it in my leg, and my leg shoots out from under me and like starts shaking. I'm like, like I've been electrocuted. I yank it out. Yeah, and I'm like,
so disappointed.
Oh my God. And here's how bad it was. I was like, what the fuck was that? I was like, oh my God. So then I go, I take a breather, and I'm like, we got to get it done. So don't go there. I guess maybe I went too high. Go here. Stuck it right back in. Injected it. Was cool. I'm going to the gym later, right? The minute I'm going to the gym later. And I literally am telling my buddy about this. And he's like, oh, bro, you hit a nerve. I was like, what? He goes, yeah, you saying you put it. He goes, oh, yeah, you hit a nerve, man. He's like, you went to the wrong spot. I was like, yeah. He's like, what'd you do? I was like, well, man, I went back and put it here. And he's like, you dedicated. I was like, or not smart. So, or not. Choose which one. Yeah.
Like for the.
By the way, I did get jacked enough that I came home to see my mom and my dad, and my brother mainly, and my sister. And I came in, and I was washing clothes at home, as you do when you're a college kid. And I was just in boxers in the laundry room, and my legs used to get bigger when I was a kid because I played so much tennis as a child. But so those looking normal would be normal. But I was always like a skinny kid when I was younger. You can't believe it now, but I used to be. I wasn't then because my mom comes into the lunchroom and looks at me and she goes, Andy. And I was like, yeah. She's like, your neck. And I was like, so I had actually gotten some little trappies. I got some little trappies up here and my back. And she went, what's wrong with your back? I was like, what? She turned. Let me see. It was back here. She went, she like, is that not hurt? And I was like, does it hurt? And I was like, no. And I looked pretty good at the time, but she was like, she like grabbed my shoulder. She was like, are you taking drugs? And I was like, what? No, straight up lied to my mom. Which, come to find out, we should have never worried about me doing steroids. It'd have been alcohol. She should have been like, maybe stop drinking. But she was like, and I saw one of my friends back then too. I called up for lunch. Her name was Misty. So we went out to lunch. And she had known me through church back in the day when I was a little skinny boy. And we meet up for lunch, and I come walking into the building or in the restaurant. And she looks at me, and she's like, and she's like, hey. And I sit down, and I'm like, hey. And she goes, what's wrong with your neck? And I was like, you sound like my mom. She was like, are you taking steroids? And I was like, no. And she's like, oh my God. I was like, I got to work out. She's like, you're ridiculous. But like I had my little bitty trappies, which was adorable at the time for me. So because they don't usually grow on me, but I just remember that and was like, oh. But then I didn't do after that. I did 6 weeks and discovered that alcoholism. I liked drinking more back then. So
yeah,
didn't work out until I got sober again. So,
right.
Yeah.
So like for anyone that listens to this. Like at our age, in your 40s, mid 40s,
yeah,
I think that there's some there's an idea about using TRT, testosterone replacement therapy. They kind of equate that to steroid use, where it's not. It's where you're prescribed by your physician an amount that will bring your testosterone levels back to around where you were in your 20s, so that then you've got the energy,
bodybuilder like prescription.
Right. Yeah. You've got the energy and the excitement about going in and doing the workouts, and then just having the energy for the day, because
and that in the recovery, it's mainly that recovery time.
Recovery is good.
Hey, I'm not sore and joint soreness. I do think it helps with that. I don't know if it does scientifically or not, but for me at least, it seems like.
Right. I mean, you feel more like you feel closer to your 20s than you do your 50s
I'm just glad I feel like I'm
40s. But so I mean. That I think that is a stigma that people our age should kind of disregard, where using prescribed testosterone from your medical provider, it's not using steroids. It's not you're not gonna have this aggro attitude that people also equate to steroid use, which it can be a thing. Sometimes I've talked to other guys who are like, I was never angry once when I was on steroids. I got really huge and I loved the way I looked. I just understood that the damage that I was doing to my liver and the rest of my body with all of these drugs. It wasn't good. So they were like, I was never angry or never got aggro or anything like that.
Yeah.
But at our age, I think that testosterone is a viable thing. It's something that if you're struggling to find the energy for the day, if you've got a family, if you've got errands to run, if you've got kids' sports and things like that, and you just don't have that energy, I think that...
Give the kids up for adoption,
right, yeah. then I think that you should, go talk with your doctor. And a lot of doctors will be like, yeah, I'm not, a lot of doctors don't prescribe testosterone, but a lot of doctors do. And I mean, the science is out there. The results that I have realized from it, and this is, I was lifting, heavier before I even started this. I had my injuries and stuff before I even started using testosterone. I use testosterone now to maintain, the size that I've got, and to have the energy to then, go to baseball practice, take Jackson to the gym,
you got a busy life, that's for sure.
Yeah, to do all the busy things. But I'm also able to prioritize my own health, and get up at 4:30 in the morning, work out, get my stuff under control, and then once I've got that taken care of, I can take care of everything else the rest of the day without any issue, And then when it's time for me to go to bed, I lay down and I go to bed. I make sure that I've hit everything that I need to hit and go to bed. For people, Destiny's age, if you're considering using, testosterone, any kind of gear, anything like that, talk to your doctor. I mean, have your, make sure that you know what your goals are and how all this is going to affect you later on in life.
Yeah, long term, yeah.
Because a lot of times, it may sound fantastic in your 20s. I had a lot of great ideas in my 20s. Some of them weren't so great, later on in life. But if you've got a plan and you talk to someone who knows, a medical professional who knows what's going on, and you're honest with them, and you tell them, hey, I want to be, jacked. I want to be huge. I want to be an IFBB pro. I want to do this. I want to do that. I need a doctor. I need medical guidance on this. Can you provide that? If they can and they're willing to, then I mean, that's a healthy way to approach it. It's not as healthy as, going natural until you need that boost, but it's a way forward for you. I don't think that unless you're, unless bodybuilding is, your be all end all, I think that the negative effects of some of these, steroids, things out there on the market, they're not going to be great long term for you. And it's just my opinion. I mean, anyone feel free to correct me on this, but I just think that no matter what you are trying to do, you should talk to your medical provider or a medical provider. If you're not comfortable going to your doctor, go to a different doctor. Go out of town. Talk to someone just so you have all the information. And then you can, move forward with whatever you decide. I mean, you're probably an adult and should. But for people our age, Andrew, you and me, not Destiny, but for our age, I wholeheartedly support using testosterone replacement therapy. And I do it, I use it subcutaneously. I use a diabetic needle. I inject once a day.
Yeah, more tiny needles. Be a real man. Use the 22 needles.
Yeah, every day.
She's like, you want to use this? I'm like, that'll work. She's like,
right.
Sure, honey. I'm like, cool. My buddies saw those things, and they were like, the fuck is this? I was like, she's like, this is what you bought? Also, they were like this long, by the way. And they were like, Jesus, man. They were like, bro. I was like, I don't know what to buy. They were like, well, not that.
Cost you like $5 for 100 of them or something?
Yeah, they were like, that's
just
like stuff
another
you draw
$5
blood, bro. Like, what in the world? Yeah.
Yeah, but like for for women, I know women that are on testosterone therapy also.
Yeah.
They're perimenopausal, things like that. It's a very, very small dose, as I understand it, and it's helped them with similar issues, energy, things like that. But when you're in your 20s, like Destiny, I mean, just make sure you get your creatine, make sure you get your water, make sure you hit your protein, and just adjust.
What? You drink water all the time, yeah.
Adjust.
You drink water all the time. So.
No, I gotta take my creatine today. It's fine.
Oh.
Yeah, but you can take creatine at any time of the day,
Yeah.
and you still get that dose. But I mean, if you're a dude in your 20s and you're like, oh, I want to weigh 250 pounds, well, then plan your meal out.
And you're 5'2", so.
Yeah, right. Yeah, well, plan your meals out.
Flex Lewis, he's like, yeah.
Get your BMR dialed in, and you're like, well, because you can put it in the calculator. It's an online calculator.
Yeah.
Like 250 pounds, 5'8", and then poof, it'll give you.
That's the name of the app.
Right.
BMR poof.
No, it's a BMR calculator. It's online. If all you have to do is go on Google and be like BMR calculator.
Yeah.
And you put in your age, height, and then you put in your goal weight. That's what I always do. And then that will plan out your total calories per day. It'll, you get your macros, you get everything from that, and then you just adjust it. And as long as you're eating and exercising, then you don't need testosterone. You don't need any gear. You don't need that stuff. I mean, I think that you should take creatine. I think that, at a certain age, some of the supplements that I take are beneficial.
Yeah, clearly your collagen is working because my brother, I think hey, we got our one subscriber again.
Oh, yeah.
He watched the last podcast, and I got a text, and he was like, by the way, what's up with Ben? Did he have Botox? Like, he's like, nothing wrong with admitting it. He looks great. And I was like,
thanks, Jordan.
He's only a year older than me, and I was like, what do you mean by that? He was like, I was like, cool. I was like, maybe it's the collagen he's taking. I don't know.
Yeah, man. I was explaining to my buddy the other day. He's like, do you use protein? I was like, well, yeah. He's like, shakes? I said, yeah, I use shakes. I do blueberries, coffee, and protein in the morning. And then I have my second shake is protein, collagen, and biotin. And then my third shake before bed. And I don't use like casein protein or anything like that. I just use regular whey. But I do whey protein and glutathione at night. I'm glad that Jordan noticed. I appreciate that, buddy.
Okay, pause. I have the collagen that you have, the bulk supplements one.
Yeah.
Okay, I got that one. How do you mix that shit in with anything? I tried to mix it in with my protein shake. I almost fucking threw up. I had to throw it out.
Oh,
she's very picky on her protein
I'm
shakes
not.
too. Though.
So it clumps, right? It got clumpy?
No, that's not even what I'm talking about. No, it was just the taste of it. Like it.
Again, very picky. She was like, it's kind of chalky. I'm like, it's a protein shake, man. Like,
no. How much water did you mix with it?
And how much water did you mix? She just put it in a protein shake, like one of those Fairlife chocolate protein shakes. Yeah,
for like 12 ounces.
Huh?
It's about the Fairlifes are about 12 ounces.
I think it's about 12 ounces. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I use the recent video I sent to Andrew of me cooking.
Yeah.
Amy got me a Stanley shaker, which is
Stanley's bag.
It's incredible. It really is. It is. They're really cool. But it's 16 ounces.
Yeah.
And so I'll put 14 ounces of water. I'll dump in the protein. I'll dump in everything else, and you just shake it like crazy. And I mean, in my opinion, unless I'm sitting down at a nice meal,
Yeah.
food is just fuel. I'm not trying to enjoy it.
We're dudes, man. We're like, this is
Yeah,
great.
but,
I mean,
but it's a good mindset, Destiny. It's a good, in my opinion, it's a good mindset. You need the macros. You need, you need the, not that you need collagen or need biotin or need NAC or glutathione or.
She just wants it to taste like strawberry and flowers.
No.
Right. Yeah.
She
It's
wants
not
it to
going to
taste
taste like that.
like Taylor Swift made.
Destiny. Right. Don't we all? No. So in my opinion, if you want a protein to taste good, if that's your thing, then the only one that I would sit down and enjoy would be the Cinnamon Toast Crunch, the CTC from First Form. It's hands down, it's micronized. You mix it with water, and it tastes like Cinnamon Toast Crunch, like the milk you would get from it. It's delicious.
That's the way Peptides used to be for me. Like all their stuff.
Right.
We had one. I think it was back in the day. Like when I met you, I think it was like Cinnabon or some shit.
Dude, they still have
And
that.
I'm sure it's weird, man. Peptides, by the way, back when I met you, which again is like like 10, 12 years ago. Yeah. Peptides back then was the cheap protein brand, like that made all these crazy flavors. Like back then, crazy flavors would have been like their cookies and cream was phenomenal. They came out with like a Cinnabon that was phenomenal. I think that's the one my brother told me about. And I was like, this is cheaper than like Optimal Nutrition own way used to be like the real popular one that was like, they were like, this is the primo best brand ever. Yeah. And it was a little pricey, and they just made like vanilla chocolate and like double chocolate and some shit. Yeah. And all the other ones were more expensive, but Peptides was cheaper. Now, I think Peptides is the expensive brand. I'm like, what the hell? And they got all the good flavors, like crazy good flavors.
Yeah, but so Destiny, just chug the protein shake.
Okay, no. The thing is, the protein shakes that I have, they're fucking great. I love them. They're the Fairlife ones.
Right.
And they're 30 grams of protein in a shake. They're fucking great. I love them. It was whenever I added the collagen to it, that's when I had an issue.
But that's because it'd be like adding collagen to milk and whey protein, like instead of like dissolving it in water.
But you do it in the container it comes in, right? Mm-hmm. So dump it into a bigger, like a 24-ounce container, like a shaker, and then just add a little bit of water, and because that'll help it mix easier, and you can drink it faster. Because you need the protein, you need the stuff that is in that shake, So drink it all at once. Your body has a way to process it. And that may
definitely do it differently. I get it. And I'm like, that was great. And she's like, sip on it, and
much
like
shit in yours too.
Sometimes I put all types of shit in mine. Sometimes I don't. I don't give a shit.
Right.
Sometimes I just get the scoop of the bulk optimum whey vanilla and water, and I'm like, hey, fine. Other times I do like the little. By the way, I did get frozen blueberries that are better this time. They're like smaller. Oh, they're so good. I've done it with like your coffee stuff.
Yeah,
that's good. Or sometimes my favorite is get the the pre-made Optimum Nutrition vanilla shakes, and then I pour it in the cup with some Fruity Pebbles. That's good.
Doesn't show all the time. And then with Cinnamon Toast Crunch, he'll do it too.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, that's great.
I gotta get my carbs in for that. So.
Well, I mean, like it's like when we use gummy bears.
She said, like you're lacking on. I say I get my carbs in. She's like you're lacking on that. Wow. Wow.
I mean, you want to eat. You want to have that. 50, 40, 10, or whatever your carb, protein, fat is.
That's right.
Mine's about 50, 30, 20. But yeah, like sugar is like fast processed sugar is really good for you after a workout. My buddies and I use Haribo gummy bears.
Oh yeah, you mentioned that before. Yeah,
we use that before workouts. during the workout, after the workout. It it's great. It's fast energy. We're not sitting around, like, we use it more as a workout supplement than as a snack or a treat.
Okay, I had a friend a while ago, and we used to eat
Rice Krispie treats.
Yeah, Rice Krispie treats.
Right.
Before what?
Oh, you missed out on one of the podcasts before, yeah.
Did I?
Yeah.
I think you talked about it when we were down in North Carolina. When
maybe that's what it was. Yeah.
We're down there.
Yeah. Anyway, we used to eat like Rice Krispie treats before we would go to the gym. Is that legit, or like what you're talking about, or is it just dumb?
I don't know what the ingredients are for Rice Krispie treats, but if you, I think that as long as it's not, something terrible for you, and you notice a benefit, if you have a better workout, then eat a Rice Krispie treat. Eat something that gives you energy. Honestly, a Rice
20 men, they don't need a Rice Krispie treat to go work out.
But like a Rice Krispie treat,
they can work out off 3 hours of sleep and be fine.
Would be, I think the argument can be made that a Rice Krispie treat before a workout would be healthier for you than like the pre-workout that I use is 300 milligrams of caffeine, and but if you, and it could even be just a psychological effect that I have a better workout whenever I eat a Rice Krispie treat beforehand or during or after. If you are seeing positive benefits and you're not, having some ill effect from it, or you're not reaching your goals, then, it's probably beneficial. It probably helps. I would compare it in your spare time or in my spare time. One of us, we can all look up, the macros, the ingredients of gummy bears compared to Rice Krispie treats. They may be better. I know that Rice Krispie treats and Pixie Sticks have both been good for us. It's all just sugar.
Pixie Sticks?
It's sugar. And dye, but well, and I think don't gummy bears have like horse hooves or some they've got some gross aspect to them where some people are like, I'm not eating that, but but you find what works for you and what fits your macros, and my buddies and I up here, we'll be like, well, I've hit 300 grams of protein today. I've hit 150 or 175 carbs. I've hit my fat. I've drank 170 ounces of water. I can go have a beer, or I'll go out for wings, or I'll have a piece of cake, something like that. Because we've hit we've hit our workout, we've hit our macros, we've hit our water, we've hit everything that we need. If we want to relax and have something else, a treat, we've hit everything else. Treat yourself. You don't want to eat a pie. You don't want to eat an entire pizza. You don't want to, something like that. But if you hit everything, and this is just my personal opinion, this is how I've done it for 30 years. I think I'm doing all right. I'm not a pro. I'm not I'm not some influencer or anything like that. But that's how I've lived, and I'm able to maintain. I'm able to keep doing it year after year. So if Rice Krispie treats are good for your workout, eat a Rice Krispie treat.
Thank you. Wow.
There you go. You're welcome. Yeah.
You bullied me for it.
Yeah. It's 20, man. Like, when I was 20, I went to go work out. I was just like,
you were on shit whenever you were 20.
One time for 6 weeks.
Give me
like years.
You've gotten all the juice. That's what I want.
Yeah.
Rice Krispie treat? No. Ew, gross. No.
God.
Ugh.
I did
What's
6
wrong with
weeks.
you?
That's it. And then still worked out. Worked out before then too. That's when I worked out with my buddy Jimmy when we were like 18 years old. We did. I can't remember what we did. That was like a men's fitness magazine workout they came out with. Some dumb shit. But this is back again. This is 27 years ago, maybe actually longer than that, almost 30 years ago. And it was one of those where we read it, we're like, okay, and it was working out twice a day. First of all, which is silly. We had to be at work, I think, at 7 a.m. So we did this for a while. Probably the time in my life where I did it. We would get up, go to I think then it was a Gold's Gym in High Point. We would get there. We had already eaten, I think, to get the protein intake that it had us do. Again, 30 years ago, you didn't necessarily have a whole bunch of protein shakes on the market and shit. We were eating cans of tuna. So when we figured out how much protein we had to take in, and then we had to eat 10 cans of tuna a day. That's insane.
You're worried about mercury poisoning?
And gross, by the way. Yeah. Well, that might have something to do with it. And so then it had like these supplements that you bought, they came in like a pack. And we're taking these. We're getting to the gym. And I think in the morning, was Stairmaster. Fuck those machines. Then, and that was like your warm up to get your heart rate going, even though you always took these pills that were like getting you jacked out of your mind. Again, probably illegal substances back then we didn't know about, like supplements that now would be. It's actually was probably just a packet of just nothing but Rip Fuel.
Right.
And then we would do the workout, which was whatever it was, like a chest day or a back day or whatever it was. Then we'd go to work. While we're at work, we're grossing everybody out because we're opening these cans of tuna and eating it. And I remember being in there, we were chugging water because it had like how much water you had to drink in a day. We're in there having to pee while at work, and I just remember being in there and be like, hey man, I think something's wrong. And Jimmy's like, yeah dude, like highlighter yellow? I was like, yeah, highlighter yellow. This is neon. Why is my pee neon? Like not it's yellow, it's neon. Like if you turn the lights off, you can see it.
Right. Yeah.
And so anyway, then again, we're eating tuna all day long, trying to do whatever we can. And we're so into it, like we didn't want to like use mayo. So we're using hot sauce and mustard. Awesome.
Mustard's 0 calories, dude. Mustard's good.
Yeah, so then...
Love mustard, not on tuna.
Then we go, bro, anything to get flavor in that. Because at first we were just manning it. We were like, tuna in the can, just blah. Then after like a couple days, you're like, I need to put some on this or I'm going to throw up. And then at night, we would go back to the gym after we got off work. And again, it was like some sort of like cardio, but it wasn't like just walking on a treadmill. It was like Stairmaster or an elliptical machine. Even 30 years ago, which we didn't know was hit then, like you had to do it for like as fast as you could for like 30 seconds, then stop for like 10 to 20 seconds, then just do it normal, and then do it again. And then we would still do another fucking workout. And I mean, granted, after like I think we were able to do it for like maybe a couple of weeks, and then we were like, I can't do this anymore. Now, granted, you're 18, you're probably going to get ripped anyway, like just by kind of thinking about working out. So we were fit and we were pretty shredded, but we also smelled terrible. I mean, people were like, "You smell like a tuna fart." Like,
yeah, and that's not really a sustainable thing.
no, not at all.
And that's why, like with my diet, why Amy every now and then she'll be like, "You've been eating the same thing."
Yeah.
I mean, I don't smell like a tuna can,
Right.
but she's like, you need to vary because she knows me better than I know myself.
Right. Yeah, of course.
Let's put a different meal in there.
Yeah.
Like my burritos, she knows that most of my meals need to be in tortilla.
Yeah.
And she's able to adapt most of my meals to that. But she's like, hey, let's adjust this so that you're not getting burned out on what you're eating, because if you get burned out on what you're eating, then it's a lot easier to be like, oh man, forget this, I'm gonna order a pizza tonight.
We went to town after we got done with that stuff. Again, I couldn't look at tuna for the longest time. Like canned tuna, at least. I was just like,
right. And back then, I know that you didn't have, the
you didn't have the stuff you got now,
like chicken breasts.
Yeah. Well, we also didn't think about the fact of like.
What do you mean? Yeah. There were
chicken breasts. Peanut butter, for Christ's sake. You know what I mean? Like back then, we're like peanut butter's fat. It's got fats in it and too much, and it's like it's not.
Peanut butter is still a fat. I mean, you can't really call it a protein. It is more of a fat. But like back then, instead of eating 10 cans of tuna, you could have had
chicken.
Chicken. You could add shrimp. Something like, because shrimp's high in protein too.
While we were on the tuna, it was like super lean. And I know it was like,
it was cheap.
It was cheap as shit. Yeah, that's what it was. It was so cheap.
Yeah.
I mean, it was. I knew we went to town though afterwards, bro, because Jimmy had his grandmother had a house, and the whole downstairs was literally a duplicate of the upstairs. It was a whole new house downstairs, but his grandmother baked pies. She just lived by herself. She was, did I didn't tell you that story? Oh man, she baked pies. I remember the first time I met her. Super awesome lady. I went over to their house. I was like, again, it was a ranch style house. The whole downstairs was an entire separate house. I was like, this is dope. Like it's just somebody took the first floor and put on the bottom floor. A washer, dry, everything. It was wild. But I met his little grandmother, and I just remember, and the first thing she said, he told me it was going to happen. I didn't believe him. He's like, she's going to probably offer you some pie. And I was like, okay, she'll offer me pie? And he was like, yeah. And I walked in, and she was like, hey. I was like, hey, would you like some pie? And I was like, yeah. I was like, yeah. And I like pie, clearly. And I was like, yeah, I'll do some pie. I was like, yeah. And she's like, I got pie. And I'm not, she like opened up her fridge. She says, I got chocolate pie, banana pie, apple pie, blueberry pie. I was like, I thought she was going to be like, I got pie. Seriously, she had a refrigerator slam fucking full of this shit, and there was, and God honest truth, a windowsill in her kitchen with pies on it. I got pumpkin pie, and I was like, what the fuck is up with your grandma? He's like, she has nothing to do all day, and she grew up baking and cooking. He's like, she doesn't know, she just bakes pies. He goes, I give away so many pies to people. She takes them to her church. She gives away people. And I mean, I ate pie, clearly. I was like, I'm going to eat some pie. And then he was like, yeah. So just 90th anniversary, I'm standing, I'm like, you got chocolate pie? Chocolate pie? I'll bake you a chocolate pie. And he was like, I was like, what? He was, well, he just gave her something to do. So we went downstairs to check out the house or whatever, and she's up there baking a chocolate pie. I go to leave. She's like, bye, here's pie. I was like, I love you. You single? I was like, and he was like, hey, and I was like, I'm just saying, like, I'm single, she's single. I can be your granddaddy, I guess. And he was like, I hate you. And I was like, cool. I took it home, and Mom's like, you got a pie? I was like, I got a chocolate pie. She's like, this is the best chocolate pie I had. Who made this? I was like, Jimmy's mom, or the grandmother is like a pie lady. So, and yeah, no lie, we'd go over there. I'd see her often, and I'm like, hey, it's like, you got a pie? She'd be like, what kind of pie? I got apple pie. I was like, blueberry pie today. I was like, cool. She's like, I got blueberry pie.
I used to make cookies all the time for the kids, and
you cookie man, yeah.
And I'd take them to their school and stuff. But when the kids would ask for them at home, I'd always put extra eggs in them, and I'd put protein powder in them.
Oh, nice!
I was like, kids really get their macros.
We should ask Jimmy's grandmother to do that shit. Like, that was the fun thing. It was like trying to get her, like, what pie has she not made that I can mention? But you would like never do that. One day I got chocolate pie. It is something. I might have said pumpkin pie one day, but she was like, "Oh, I got pie." And I was like, "You have that pie?" I was like, "Yeah." Just randomly, you have that pie. You baked that pie the other day, and you have it. Cool. Bread pie, bread pudding. I'm like, oh, that's not your specialty, lady. We know it's pies. But she was cool, man. She was cool. She was like, it must be something about the pies too, man, because I think she lived past her 90s. Like, I remember him being like, "Nah, it's your grandma's going up to the mountains. You're going to drop see your friends up in the mountains." And I was like, isn't your grandma like 300 years old? He's like, I think she's like 90. He's like 93. And I was like, is she okay to drive? He's like, She got a license. Again, it's 30 years ago. They just let you drive whenever.
They still let you do that.
I had a big ass donkey, one of those cars where if it got in a car wreck, all the other cars were destroyed. Her car would be fine.
She just pull around.
Yo, he is with a boat, man.
Yeah, I got to reverse and
and he was like, yeah, grandma's coming back home this weekend. I'm like, what? She just up in the mountains, like 90 years old, 93 years old. Like, he's like, yeah, I was like,
good for her.
Well, I want to be that. Maybe I should just eat pies, but I'm like, there's something in those pies, but.
She baked the pies. She didn't eat them.
Yeah, that's the thing. She probably baked them and didn't eat them. She did all the work and stayed healthy and was like, get rid of this shit. So just killing off all her friends probably with diabetes and shit.
So Destiny,
he listen to the podcast either.
For the collagen, add a little extra water to the protein shake. Shake it up and just fire it down. I mean, if you can't fire it all down in one shot, then drink the majority, shake it up again, drink more. Just try and get all that protein, all that collagen in, and that's the way I do it with all of my shakes. It's easier for me, and I don't know if there are processing issues. Again, if a professional ever hears this or anything, feel free to correct me, but just get the protein.
I don't think a professional is ever going to hear this. I think we're covered on that.
That's okay.
If anyone who knows more than I do, just get it in you and be done with it.
That's Ben's advice, people. Just get it in you.
Yeah.
How much are you putting in? I think it said like 4 teaspoons. Is that right?
Yeah, 4. 4 for that. 4 teaspoons of the collagen. All the other stuff that I use, like a 1/4 teaspoon, half teaspoon. I have all my bags marked with what I'm using. And I've got like pre-workout, morning, lunch, evening. I just have it written on the bag because Amy's like, Ben, because she only uses a fraction of what I use. She's like, where's the creatine and what's the dosing on this? And so I write it out so that we all know. Because a lot of times in the morning when I come down, I'll pull out like, glutathione or whatever, all these big bags out, and like, what is this? And sit it aside and find it. So you write a big Sharpie on the front and the dose, but I like it. I like using it. I like the NAC. Everything I'm using right now. All my blood work comes back good, and my doctors know everything that I'm using, and there's like, oh yeah, that's a good idea. Keep doing it. A lot of doctors. My doctors have never been like, oh, you weigh a lot, or or like your neck circumference is unhealthy. Well, I have had
neck circumference.
I've had. I went to a chiropractor, and they were like, neck circumference. The bigger your neck is, there's like a correlation to early mortality. And I was thinking, buddy, if my neck were smaller, I'd look silly.
Yeah, doctors going to be coming up in January. I'm going to be like, so how's my neck circumference?
Right. Well, no, and I think there are studies. There are studies out there that correlate neck circumference, and clearly, like,
that means you get like 5 chins or some shit. You know
what I
mean?
Yeah, and I think that
you've seen those where I got like a goblin underneath here. Like, that's not healthy.
Right, but that also, but I think I think that neck circumference and weight are also kind of like the body mass index, the BMI, where it's kind of outdated. We've made some progress in health and fitness where I weigh like 275 pounds. at my height, that is morbidly obese. That is considered
for the regular people.
According to the BMI
Oh,
and things like that. You know, in my scale, even like we talked before, you know, if I get on the scale, my scale's like, oh, you're 35% body fat. And of course I am. You know, but that's why I rely more on the mirror than the scale, and that's why I completely disregard the BMI and I look at BMR. And, you know, I just pay attention to, you know, how I'm sleeping, how I'm feeling, and to what my doctors tell me. My doctors have never told me, they're like, you are at an unhealthy weight and we need to, you know, correct this. Because my doctors...
They're not like, your neck circumference is insane.
Right. Well, no, and yeah, and when the chiropractor told me that, I was like...
You're not a real doctor.
Well, I didn't say that. But I was like, you know, I understand that. I understand, but, you know, my priorities, you know, I work out every single day. You know, my neck is going to be a little bit bigger. You know, I think my legs are bigger too. I mean,
mortality on that.
Do they, you know, counteract each other? Can my leg to neck ratio? Let's talk to somebody about that. But I don't really work out every day.
I still think my
4 or 5 days
retort would have been hilarious. He's like, you know what I think? Like, I don't know that you're not a real doctor, chiropractor boy.
Yeah. No, he's a really nice guy.
I sincerely believe that. I mean, apologize.
Yeah, the chiropractor was nice, and I did feel better after, like, I got, you know, my adjustments and stuff. But it's just, you know, I didn't continue with. I went a few times and I felt better, but it just didn't work with my schedule, you know, with the kids or anything. I had to cut something out. But yeah, I mean, I forget how we got on this tangent, but
I don't remember. Something about your neck. You were like, my neck is thick.
Well, you know, I don't even think I have a big neck. I don't.
No, you have a good sized normal neck.
Thank you.
Non-doctor. You know what you're talking about.
I think the beard and the tattoos kind of add to it.
But you don't have a neck tattoo, right? You should get one.
We were talking about that at our at one of the Sunday workouts.
Yeah, get like some hair like thick and fit or something. Yeah. And go into the chiropractor's office and be like, "Hey, guy."
Yeah, no, I don't know if I'd go above the collar. But
yeah, what is the guys? Well, all tattoo artists call them like the job killers and stuff.
Job stoppers.
Yeah, job stoppers. That's yeah. They were like, "Drew, we gonna get a job stopper." I was like, "The what? Who now? What?" And they're like, then I'm like, "I'm getting my whole back done, man. Can we just focus on that? Maybe what are you talking about?" They're like, "Neck tattoo." I'm like, if I put anything above my shoulders, my wife will finally probably be like, "You know what? I said it was your body, your choice, but I've changed my mind." Cause she jokes, she's like, "Honey, the only reason I say this is cause like I know you're not going to do anything silly." And you know, then I come home with she's picking on me now for my like eagle tattoo, and I'm like, it's a traditional.
Yeah, I didn't know you were an Eagles fan. I thought you liked the Dolphins.
No, I do. Yeah, well, let's not say that on the air. No, I ain't watched football in a while for that very reason. They died with Marino, man, and even then they weren't doing great. Yeah, I was like, it's a traditional American Eagle, bro. This is like solid, but or I come home with our gorilla, our smoking gorilla tattoo.
Smoking gorilla, yeah. I forget I have that sometimes.
Yeah, that's the best right there.
Wes, I watched a podcast where one of Wes's frequently asked questions.
Yeah. Like
on his Instagram or TikTok or whatever. And he was talking about traditional sailor tattoos where you have a pig on your right foot or a pig on your left foot and a rooster or a chicken on your right.
Yeah.
And he explained kind of the thing, you know, the ideas behind it. And he's like, and here are some pictures. I've only done one of these, and we've never gotten any tattoos. And I was like, holy shit, I got a shout out on that, because I've got the only pig and rooster foot tattoos.
Oh, nice, yeah.
And they're the traditional style too.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, the more you get into that, the more you kind of learn about that. This one's over here is just getting covered at this point.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So you mean...
Oh, hey, I did get a note that we should probably wrap this up soon. By the way, everyone notice this was the notes, dear listeners, for tonight's podcast. Let's see if they meet up. Tonight's podcast was going to be how to reset your body and mind before the new year. Help listeners get reset physically and mentally during the week between Christmas and New Year without pressure, guilt, or extreme behavior, such as tattoos or visiting chiropractors for the adjustments. Clip
or
that.
steroids.
Or steroids. Also, why does this matter? Skills are off, routines are off. We got to get back into it. Motivation's low, but it's about resetting, not restarting. Let me see how I print this off. And also, while our workout that had just went out to everyone. By the way, anyone who's joined the Founders Inner Circle, you got your workout that we'll be updating every week, but that's your main workout, and you'll notice it doesn't look like it's a lot of volume, mainly because a lot of people are resetting or restarting. I'm currently doing that workout right now, but also so that you don't injure yourself by doing too much. Actually, one of our photographers, Ken, said he and his son are going to do it, and I said, yeah, hey, check that out, look at it. He said, yeah, because I don't feel like it's too much, because I feel like I would end up probably doing more. I said, yeah, don't add on more, because especially if you've just gotten back into working out or resetting, don't do more, because you could end up injure yourself. Just ease back into it, and as this program runs out, that's then when we'll release something that's a little bit more intense.
I haven't had a chance to look at what you sent out.
Okay. Thanks for putting that on the podcast now. Yeah. We're going to look at our own stuff.
Look, we've our sump pump, our primary sump pump went out.
Oh God!
One of the fuses in the in our circuit box, it's toast. My sauna's not working. We've got I know the heater that we've got in the garage for the cats, for the rescue cats that Amy rescued, isn't working. I saw the email pop up, and I was like, oh, let's check this out. But yeah, I agree that starting off slow, ease into it. You can, walk as much, if not more than you. I would add more walking. I wouldn't run anywhere or do crazy stairs or anything like that, but walking is beneficial.
Oh, hey, one of the ladies we met, make sure I say her name right. Deidre, I believe it's right. If not, it's Deidre, but hopefully I got that right. Sorry about that. We were at the tattoo guys were having a party, like just to hang out or whatever. And so we went over to say hey. And so she was like, hey, you go to the gym, don't you? And I was like, yeah. No, I was like, yeah. I think that was my response. But we talked for a minute. So I was telling her so we got her signed up for Kahuna Strength with the Inner Circle. But I told her I was going to ask you and Amy about this, because y'all would know. She, I can't remember if I mentioned it in the meeting or not, but she had injured her knee. It was her patella. Mm-hmm. And so she was saying, like, some of her exercises, especially for lower body, she doesn't want that pain. And I had mentioned the possibility of, like, well, maybe sumo squats. She did say when she turns her foot out like that more, it takes pressure off of that and feels better. But she was wanting to know, like, what type of exercises would be safe for her to do. Is there a different version of a squat that would help out with her, or just because she likes to work out. She doesn't just want to do cardio. She wants to do some sort of strength training, but not putting pressure really too much on her knee.
Right. Well, if she's got a legit injury, I'd follow whatever the doctors and physical therapists say.
Yeah.
If she's prescribed PT, I would.
She has went to PT, yeah.
Yeah. Outside of that, I wouldn't be using any weight. Mm-hmm. And I would be careful with, like, if body weight isn't painful, isn't causing anything, then I would stick with body weight. And this is just, this is medical advice. This isn't, professional advice. But, anytime I've had an injury, I always start with, stretching, making sure that, I've got the flexibility, I've got the mobility. And then once I've got that, then I move to body weight and band work. So I would do, I would use a band and just kind of, do leg extensions, seated, anything that if something hurts, she's not going to fall down and cause, another injury, a head injury or something like that. And then I would just baby step my way up. But I would prioritize anything that the doctors and PT says. When I've had my injuries and my doctors have been like, hey, go to PT, see what they want you to do. Yeah. I've followed their instructions. I've gone to PT probably longer than necessary, but they, when I had my biceps rupture, I was, at 0 when I started. A couple months into it, I was back to 100% just by following their program, doing what they say. When they tell you to do something at home, do it at home. When you go there, let them do their work and push you. Because the more you follow them, they're the professionals. They know what they're doing. They've seen it 1,000 times. And then if you feel like you can do more at home, bring it up to the professional and be like, hey, I want to step this up. And then I would step it up with, body weight stuff, as long as you're not going to fall over or drop something. And I would use bands. Bands are great.
Inject some peptides.
Talk to Andrew about 18 gauge needles and
that's right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Get on some good.
Well, cool, man. Well, I can we'll wrap it up then. So yeah, man. One of the big notes is early bedtimes. Go to bed.
All right.
All right, dude. We'll catch up with you next week, man. See if we can get Wes on at some point. That'd be fun.
Yep.
You got anything you want to add at the end? No.
Any other supplement questions?
Almost none.
Any other supplement questions, Destiny?
Yeah, supplement questions.
You want Andrew to take this one?
I have my multivitamin that I'm taking now, my creatine, and then the collagen that I need to take. And I think that's all that I'm taking right now, other than like protein, which is obvious. But
yeah, we gotta get you some fancy protein. Maybe Taylor Swift will make protein.
Yeah.
I like my protein shakes. Let me my protein shakes. They're fine. They're 30 grams of protein. We're good.
30 grams is good.
Exactly.
Check out those Stanley shakers.
Yes,
Maybe I both have them, dude. They are life changing. They're good.
Life changing. I'll check it out.
Yeah.
All right, brother, man. We good?
All right, guys. See you
Later, man.
Thanks again, Jordan.
Hey guys, welcome to the Kahuna Strength Podcast, where we help men and women build real sustainable strength for their real life. No trends, no shortcuts, just what actually works and works for us and hopefully works for you too. We're busy adults, parents, professionals, college kids, and we're all just trying to stay strong and healthy and consistent. If you want strength you can live with, you're in the right place.